Hey y'all, it's Trey here, coming to you in my finest suit for a reason. I'm letting you know that this Saturday, April 26th, I'm excited to be joining a host of incredible comedians for an online pay-per-view special called Not the White House Correspondents' Dinner. It's our take on what it might have been like if we were allowed to do one this year, all right? So that's what we're giving to you this Saturday, online only. Check it out, $20.26, link in the description. You ain't gonna believe this lineup of great comics. It's gonna be a good show.
This thing came together so fast. I'm so turned on by the people who are.
This lineup.
First off, they've begun leaking to me. There's a few details I can say about it.
Okay.
One of which is Allison Gill of Mueller, She Wrote does a video that's like Avatar 2. Like, I don't know how she did it. I don't know how she did the effects in this. It's wonderful. JoJo from Jers, we think, has more profanity in 4 minutes than anyone in history. There is no David Mamet play or Scorsese film that concentrates more swear words than JoJo in
except
her 4 minutes.
Except the time I did her podcast.
Okay, and Trey Crowder, the liberal redneck, is flat out hilarious. He was one of the first people I invited to do this, so I can't wait. And Glenn Kirshner, I can say this, Glenn Kirshner, we didn't know what he would do, right? Like, I'm like, well, it's a bunch of clowns. We have some really funny comedians, Alonzo Bowden of Wait, Don't Tell Me, and some influencers, but let's get a grown-up, and let's see if Glenn will do it. Glenn Kirshner has delivered his stand-up comedy debut.
Yes, he did a little for us this morning.
Yeah. Yes. So I can't wait. Listen, if you do not watch the Correspondents' Dinner tomorrow night, do not help normalize what they did to Amber and the comedians.
That's right.
We got something really, really funny. It only costs $20.26, which is a number you got to think about anyway. So I hope people will spend the weekend with us. And Stephanie Miller's in it.
I did what I always did. I showed my cooter to Chris Lavoie, who I made be nearly naked in the Christy Nome bit with me.
Yes. Thank you very much, Chris. Thanks for taking the hit.
I do what I can.
And I
Chris, only a few thousand men have had to look at that. So
I know, right?
I thank you very much for being brave.
And I pressed Frangela into,
Comedy.
Right.
Yes.
Being associated with me once again. We did Abby Phillip moderating a debate between Marjorie Taylor Greene and Jasmine Crockett. And Frangela is magic, as always.
Oh, that's good.
All
I
right.
should have mentioned that on Abby Phillip last night so she'd never have me back again. But I'll be sure to do it next time.
So, John, we just had, speaking of alpha liberals, Eric Swalwell on, who is
What a guy.
fantastic. But, we were just talking about this whole conversation about the Democratic Party. As you know, our beloved, our sexy liberal from Chicago, Jan Schakowsky, is going to be announcing her retirement.
God bless her. How much do I love her? Can I just say one thing about Jan Schakowsky?
Yeah.
She's my girlfriend.
I know.
Because she led me all over the DNC last summer calling me her boyfriend, and I was just smitten. She is just like 80, Jewish, and my dream woman. I love her so much.
But, and obviously Dick Durbin is retiring, and he encouraged
And he's only 80. What's that about? He's only 80.
But
he's got like 3 terms left in this Senate.
I keep making the point that it's not about age, and Dick Durbin made the same point, right? When you talk about Bernie or Elizabeth Warren. But he also, we were mentioning David Hogg, because this is a little controversial, him talking about primarying people. He made a point of saying he would not back challenges to Schakowsky or Nancy Pelosi. So, because again, they are fighters. It's not just about age, do you think?
Yeah, there's ways that you can root for having a younger caucus without burning the house down and alienating voters and donors. I'm not into the ageism, but I understand the need for a rebranding. But I don't think that it's as desperate as people want. Donald Trump is going to get a lot of Democrats elected regardless of their age. And the smart Democrats right now are going to start promising law and order and justice. And you Republicans in this cabinet can break all the laws you want for the next 18 months. But come January of 2027, the Constitution is back in session. And I'm telling you, it doesn't matter what age. Any Democrats that deliver that message are going to rake in the funds.
Well, and by the way, so the CNN data analyst Harry Enton declared there's a revolt within the Democratic Party and the siren should be going off in Chuck Schumer's office. Can I just say I hope that Dick Durbin has a little chat with his friend Chuck Schumer? I hate to say it again. Good man, good senator. He just is not. He is not. I think he's not the leader for this moment.
Chuck Schumer has a brilliant idea to draw in the younger voters, and this week he's going to drop a diss track about Drake. The young people enjoy the diss tracks on Drake. And Senator Schumer is proud to finally drop his this week.
All right. All serious. I he's not the man for this moment. So this data, 39,
no, he was the man to beat Al D'Amato.
39% of Democrats trust their party's leaders in Congress will do the right thing when it comes to the economy. In April 2024, that number was 80%. Schumer, the new data on Schumer shows his rating among New York Democrats has dropped 73% in April to 52% today. I'm just saying, I think a lot of this is because of Chuck Schumer's vote. That he's become the face.
Going on.
Right.
And by the way, I defend the vote, but go on.
Let me just finish. Harry Enton said the scream siren should be going off. Primary challenge. When you're a Democrat in New York and these are your rating, it's a big wake-up call if you're Chuck Schumer.
I agree.
I just think it is time for Chuck Schumer to pass the baton. I
agree
feel like,
with that, and I say this as a guy who actually agrees with what he did. I didn't like it, but if they had allowed the government to shut down, the right-wing media and Trump would have pinned it all on the Democrats. They would have shown every video of Democrats arguing against it from the last two shutdowns. Chuck Schumer, the noblest thing he did was take the hit by doing something very unpopular. It would have hurt even more, but you're right. He's a dedicated public servant. He's the highest-ranking Jewish official in the history of our government. He deserves all the accolades he can get. And there's a process underway, and the next Democratic Party is going to look a bit different. And all of this will be forgotten by the time we get to the midterms next year.
Yeah.
All of it.
Let's talk about
it. I'm sorry, in spite of poll numbers, Democratic positions, as you know, still poll higher above the Republican Party. I don't care about party polling. Paid family leave, decriminalizing cannabis, women's reproductive rights, Medicare covering vision, hearing, and dental. All of these policies are insanely more popular than Republican policies.
Yeah. I love, I'm not sure which headline I like best. Ouch, Fox News viewers get an uncomfortable truth about Trump on live TV. Baby didn't like the poll numbers, and then Trump screams at Murdoch over Fox approval poll, which of course he calls fake polls.
Manly.
Yes.
It shows how strong he is.
Yesterday, right, he was just whining at Vladimir Putin and Rupert Murdoch.
Kampf.
Stop.
Wine Kampf.
He has record low approval ratings for the first 100 days. He said, Rupert Murdoch has told me for years he's going to get rid of his Fox News Trump-hating fake poster. He's saying the Fox News poster is
Yep.
okay.
Whiny little.
So
on.
he is okay. I love that they had to put the Chiron up on Fox. Biden was at 54% at this point. Obama 62%. Ouch.
Ouch.
George W. Bush 63%, and Trump is at 44%, down 5 points from March and lower than Donald Trump first term.
Yep.
So he even beat.
Yeah. I just love that, like, Donald Trump revealed to us all that Rupert Murdoch's been yesing him and stringing him along for years. I mean, these people have made me feel sympathy for the Catholic bishops and Harvard, and now I'm ready to high-five Rupert Murdoch. I mean, these people in my bed are really strange, thanks to Trump.
And by the way, Fox News poll, not an outlier. Reuters Ipsos, same thing, approval rating 42, only 37% approve of how he's handled the economy. I mean, it real clear. Politics finds his disapproval rating has jumped 12 points in 3 months. We've never actually seen this, John.
Oh, but it's so manly how he whines about it in public, because a lesser man would have just not mentioned it and let it go by and be forgotten. But now so many more people are going to know about his terrible poll numbers because Man Baby has no impulse control. Thank you so much. God bless the Pope.
Yes, thank you. By the way, his seating is third row next to the bathroom for the Pope's funeral.
I saw
Do you
that.
think he's going to whine about that at all? What do you think?
Oh, I hope he does. I hope he does. You know, I just want to say, God bless Francis. He really, no one's done more to get people to watch the movie Conclave than Francis. I mean, I don't think he needed to try this hard, but, you know, I just, I love this Pope. And not perfect. He sucked on women, could have done a lot more about LGBTQ. Got in trouble with Chile over the child abuse, but he tried to make it right. But this Pope did so much. The fact that he came from Argentina, the fact that he was an outsider, he wasn't a European, first Jesuit, first to take the name Francis, first to call out Donald Trump for being a fake Christian. And that outsider status, I think, it meant the Vatican is so different than what he inherited. And I just love the fact about this Pope that the fakest of Christians hate him. Yeah. The worst people despise him, and they despise him because he actually talked the Jesus talk. Yeah. He's sort of like a moral litmus test.
I understand that you said that if we make you the next pope, you'll totally quit drinking. Did you?
Yeah, listen, this is my message to the conclave. If you make me the next pope, I will totally be worthy of the honor, and I'll stop drinking then.
And get off signal?
And I won't have any confessions on Signal. I promise.
Okay.
It happened like 2 times. It should have been more private. I apologize.
Hey, I'm John Fugelsang, and this weekend is the political comedy pay-per-view event of the year, not the White House Correspondents' Dinner. A very special pay-per-view for Americans who aren't afraid of political comedy or facts. Over a dozen comics, pundits, and influencers giving very different mini White House Correspondents' addresses, including Hal Sparks, Elaine Boozler, Alonzo Bowden, Trey Crowder, the liberal redneck, Glenn Kirshner, Allison Gill of Mueller, She Wrote, Frangela, Brooklyn Dad Defiant, Chuck Nice of Star Talk, Dean Obadala, JoJo from Jurors, and Frank Conniff of Mystery Science Theater 3000. Just added Miss Stephanie Miller. Catch Not the White House Correspondents' Dinner live Saturday, April 26th, instead of that other thing, because when they silence the comedians, we get louder. Or stream it on demand for just $20.26, because that's a good number to think about. Meethook.live/not. It's going to be inspiring. It's going to be hilarious. It's going to be deeply offensive to exactly the right people. Meethook.live/not.